go down here. So I still start doing that at the beginning, but then, so I'll cut in there. And then I just almost always just use this one. And there is a lot that I trim away, you know, from these. And I think of that egg shape on the inside where I don't want to cut into it. And there are times I cut through them, you know. I mean, it's inevitable. The only thing is I have the trick that I used to use a lot. I don't use anymore. You can use it. It's especially helpful with platters and plates, and that is like one here, and one, so here. So this is the thickest part.
Yeah, okay.
And this is just off center. You don't want it in the very center, because if you do it in the center, it's going to tear. And then, and you can see here, it's sticking through. If I were to trim this, when you get your metal trimming tool and this needle tip, the tip of the tack, you're gonna hear it, you're gonna feel it, and then you know that's how much play you've got. Is good, but I wouldn't use it for a long period of time. I think then it becomes more of a crutch, and it's simply a learning tool. So I don't know if you can see, but basically I've got a little knob on the inside, and I'm trying just to remember the inside and mimic the inside here and here. And then it's amazing to me how much natural oil in your fingers will smooth this clay. And again, I'm right-handed. Most of you are sitting on the other side, and for me, when you're right-handed, you work on the right side of the pot almost always. So now I've got the basic of what I want for my foot. I'm going to bring it more up into a point. And then I'm going to use a little bit of water, which I said I don't use, and just bring this up. Kind of a funny looking foot, isn't it? But imagine this on a planter. You know, these are really nice, maybe not for bowls, except, I mean, they're kind of fun. You can use it more as a ceremonial type bowl. Whatever kind of ceremony you want.
So it really is nice and
yeah, it's still functional, and so that would be by the same thing. I mean, I use a lot. You'll find we all do use a lot of the same things quite often, and that is, you know, just cutting this out. And you can really exaggerate this point so that on the inside it comes, or exaggerate this, so these could be really, really tall. Yeah. And so you can carve here.
Oh, nice. Now, Barbara, when you do your planter, do you put a hole in the bottom?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But on this one, I wouldn't put one. I would put a hole here where the foot is, here where the foot is, here.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to see it, you know,
Gotcha.
because the foot is hiding it.
Right.
But there is the, you know, you don't want to put it here. That messes up your, and
Visual.
Yeah, your design there. And then, so you do that, and that will accentuate it. And then the only place you really have to glaze, if you have a really nice glaze, here, here, and here. And to make that so that's true,
Oh God,
you
that
just
looks
punk
great.
it. You punk it a little bit. Simple. They're simple. You just take the tool and go just like that.
Yep.
And I was like struggling with how do you make a circle, you know? And now for that one, that's how I did that one. Yeah, I used 3 size round loop tools, 3
Yeah.
incrementally, and I did that one. Now let's go back and see how the wax. Here's the wax right here.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's see if the wax does it for us. Feels good.
Ooh.
Wow, that'd be the answer.
Yeah.
That'd be the
That's a
answer.
winner.
Yeah.
So we have discovered something here. So I'm just going to trim this before I throw it. I'm going to trim down, and basically I'm going to think of this as. You okay? Is that Linda? Yeah. So basically, think of me as opening up the clay now, but I'm trimming it to make my walls. I want to get it pretty clean. So these are my walls, so it's just, I'm going to pretend that I threw this and I'm going to bring these up.
Maybe pretend to go through this.
I'm just going to pretend that that's a pot that I just,
That
you
you
know,
just
that I centered and
And you made
put
the
my hook,
fun.
yeah.
Okay.
And so,
All right.
I mean, just if you can imagine that kind of
Uh-huh.
thought, then I just start here, use water. Go back in the middle when you can, clean up the inside. I already know that the inside is really thin, or well, probably about 1/4 of an inch. But this is, since it's porcelain, it's high fire porcelain, it can, I don't know, you think of it being a little bit more delicate and fine. So for me, it's lumpy still, so I'm going to kind of go back and refine it just by pushing a little bit here and letting my hand float over the part that I thought was too narrow. And I dried it up a little so I can bow this out a little bit more. It's not completely a nice bowl that, you know, maybe like, I know Polly does a lot of wedding bowls and things of that sort. Isn't that mess like where it is? I think I could just flatten this a little bit. That'll just
You
give
do
it.
that with the clothespin?
I would do it with the clothespin, yeah. Just look and see where the ridge is, and then. What could you do? Okay,
The rim?
you can take and just cut some holes into it. Get some big old holes for some reason. And I do. This is delicate, so I just am keeping my finger on the other side. Oops. Oh well, there it goes. And then, you know, it's kind of nice just, I mean, this has a dual purpose. It gives it a little bit of decoration, lightens it up even more. The water can flow out of it if people want to use it for, maybe you'll see these at empty bowls. Maybe I'll make some for empty bowls. I'll do a demos. So it's just enough. I mean, you could cut through different designs in here too. It's very wet right now, so it's not taking the circles quite as well as if I were to let it sit for another hour. you guys won't be here anymore, so, there you go. So, okay,
Wow.
well, we're all done
Wow.
for the day. That's all I intended to do, unless
Thank
anybody has any
you.
more questions.